Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is my usual weekly technical analysis outlook videos in which I will comment on what I think will happen to some FX crosses and equities. I have another series running, the Financial Market series, that breaks down topics in the financial market in ways that are easy to understand. You can find the links in the description about these videos. As always, before I begin, I want to clarify that this is not a solicitation or recommendation to enter into long or short positions in the names that I will mention in this video, nor do I have existing positions in them. This is not financial advice, and if you're using this content as a guide to trade, you are doing so at your own risk. Alright, let's start. These are the names that I have covered in past videos, and I will do a quick review on each of them. I've put in timestamps, so please use it to skip to the names that interest you. I'll start off with FX, and there are two FX crosses that have worked very well. Starting off with $CNH, in the video on the 6th of October, I said that because it has completed a falling wedge, a bullish pattern, $CNH has turned bullish. The textbook target of this falling wedge is at 7.2242, and this was reached on the 11th of November over here. So this falling wedge is now resolved. And then in the video on the 20th of October, I said that $CNH may be forming a new bullish pattern. It may first fall, and as long as it rebounds from above 7.07 and breaks higher, there is a chance that it is forming a head and shoulders bottom. Now, this has already happened. The completion of this head and shoulders bottom took place on the 6th of November. The textbook target for this bullish pattern is at 7.3114. Now, we are starting to see a little bit of easing in upside bias, and there were two, I would call this small upside exhaustion candlesticks. It is alright if $CNH were to fall from here. Just take this decline as the corrective phase of the bullish pattern. Upside is expected to resume once it rebounds from support levels, either at the 7.2 level, the psychological support, or around the neckline, which is at 7.1361 sort of level. Moving on to dollar Swiss, in the video on the 6th of October, I said that I believe the second shoulder of the head and shoulders bottom on dollar Swiss has been formed, and I expect dollar Swiss to gradually be pushing higher. Dollar Swiss has since done so. Now, this week is likely to end within the cloud, and if true, this will give a boost to dollar Swiss upside bias. Closing above the cloud will of course give another upside boost, while closing above the neckline at 0.9224 will be a bullish completion of this head and shoulders bottom, and the textbook target is at 1.0111. Moving on to equities, I'll start off with BMW. This is a name that I have covered since late June, and in late July I turned bearish after the completion of a double top. In the last video on the 29th of September, I said that upside bias exhaustion and upside will still be a correction. And since then, BMW has resumed its bearish trend. And last week, over here, it closed below the 68.6 level support. I will stay bearish on BMW and maintain that the textbook target is at 61.48. And since completing the double top in late July, BMW has reached around 80% of its target. And this week's candlestick looks like a downside exhaustion, and if this week ends with a downside exhaustion, I will be keen to just cease coverage on this name because there is likely to be a rebound in upcoming weeks. Richemont is also bearish due to the completion of a double top. I last touched on Richemont in a video on the 29th of September, in which I expected further downside and maintained the target at 100.45. Since then, Richemont has failed to hold above the cloud after several attempts, and the latest decline is a strong sign of a strong rejection at the cloud resistance. I'm staying bearish on Richemont targeting 100.45. I believe the latest rebound over here is a correction due to price action being overextended below the lower Bollinger, and upside should fizzle out before reaching the cloud resistance to resume the downside for Richemont. I cautioned on the bearish potential in Totalenergies in the last video on the 20th of October. The bearish pattern was completed 2 weeks ago over here, when price action closed below the neckline at 57.99. The textbook target is at 45.95, but do take caution on the support at 50.61 that can bounce price action higher when tested. In the video on the 27th of October, I cautioned to stay bearish on Novo Nordisk because there was a rejection at the neckline as well as failure to hold above, as well as rejection also at the 20-day simple moving average. I will now caution that Novo Nordisk appears to have bounced off the support that I have noted, 721.4 on the 7th of November, and has since risen a bit. Caution that this could be a bounce that triggers a corrective advance possibly to around 826.7, which is the neckline, or slightly higher before resuming the downside. Overall, there is no threat to the bearish outlook. I will stay bearish on Novo Nordisk with a price target at 619.6. That's the end of my sharing. I will give updates to these crosses and names only when there are meaningful development, and in the next video, it will highly likely be on new crosses and new names. If you like what I'm doing, please help me out by giving me a like. Please subscribe and hit the notification button for more videos like this.